I've been catching up on some of the major releases at the end of the year as we move into awards season, and one that I particularly enjoyed was Jojo Rabbit, written and directed by Taika Waititi, who was, of course, behind Thor Ragnarok and a film that I saw recently, Boy and Hunt for the Wilder People. So he comes to this with a very impressive pedigree of comedy and character delicacy, and it's a tough sell for a movie. It's set in Germany late in the Second World War, with a 10-year-old boy who is a fanatically devoted member of the Hitler Youth, to the extent that he has Adolf Hitler as an imaginary friend, coming into very gentle but determined conflict with his mother, who is part of the anti-Nazi resistance, and of course encountering a real-life Jew. It's a very, very funny movie. There are sequences that are clearly comic sequences and outright gags, but it's also a subtle movie. It's about Nazism itself. It's about prejudice. It's about something that the film's thesis says we should grow out of. That belief in this matter is the product of an immature mind. And we see this in the movie where the Nazi characters are portrayed as being just as childish and just as immature as Jojo. Jojo is a 10-year-old boy. As the Jew tells him, he wants to be part of a club where they dress up and they go camping and it's all fun and exciting. And the appeal to a 10-year-old boy is obvious. But when you have adults delighting in burning books, or a Gestapo agent walking into the boy's bedroom where he's got pictures of Hitler on the wall and says, "No, this is a real boy's bedroom," it's clearly saying something. And it goes to the point of the imaginary version of Hitler himself. He's a petulant brat. He's played by Waititi himself, who is Jewish Maori. So it's obviously somewhat fantastical casting. But he plays Hitler as just a child in a grown-up body, that Jojo can't imagine that Hitler is a real adult, the way his mother is a real adult, and the way that one of the military officers at his Hitler Youth training camp is, because these people are not Nazis. His mother is vocally anti-Nazi, and the officer is barely even a soldier. So it's a film that is very funny and very slapstick in some ways, but also is very subtle in examining the psychology of fascism. It's filled with terrific performances. Roman Griffin Davis as Jojo is a real find. Scarlett Johansson as his mother is terrific. Sam Rockwell as the half-blind officer is superb. It's reminiscent of Alaa Alaa in that he's not a Nazi, he's barely a soldier, but he's a German patriot who is fighting for his homeland. He's just terrible at it because every attempt he makes just sees him demoted further and further, despite his belief and despite the fact that he's seemingly a genuinely good person who is honestly concerned about Jojo's welfare. There's also a cameo, well, it's more a supporting role, but closer to a cameo by Stephen Merchant as the Gestapo officer, who uses his physical scale very impressively. But again, is just like a large child. I thought it was a very, very well-made, well-thought-out film. It feels of a piece with Waititi's other movies, that they have this sense of humour of juxtaposing this slightly immature, slightly slapstick, but self-aware sense of humour against a totally incongruous backdrop, as we saw in What We Do in the Shadows, this film about vampires, where again they live in a house in Wellington, they bicker over who has to do the housework. It's brilliantly acted, it looks fantastic, it's intelligent but also hugely entertaining, and it left me thinking a lot after the movie. So I would recommend it wholeheartedly. I think at the moment it's one of my favourite films of 2019, and it's a really brilliant, terrific piece of work.